here. Okay. Howdy, folks. Welcome back. So here we are, June 14th of 2022. And we got the loop running here. And I'll let it go for a minute. It starts off with this boom, this first half a halo explosion off the sun. And I don't think it's Earth facing. We'll go over to Stereo A satellite and look at it from there. Because I don't think this one's Earth facing. It's kind of hard to tell. But then we got something else going there and another thing coming off the side over here. And then we'll go through frame by frame. Here, let's just dip it down one more time so you can see this upper object. So after this big bloom, boom, there goes another round object there. So we'll go through that. Okay, so let me slide this down just a little bit here. So first off, let's back up a little bit. Previous is our half the halo CME. It's almost a full, it's a little more than half, but it's a halo CME, which means it could either be going the opposite direction or towards us. I believe it's going the opposite direction. And then as it emerges, boom, that was a huge explosion there. And then we go forward. We got this little jet that squirts out the side here. And then we have this object that emerges and comes up here. And you can see that the instrument's reacting to it right here. Okay, one more frame. Okay, we're going to keep doing this for a minute. All right. Maybe one more frame. Right there's a good one. Let's zoom in on this one right here. And boom, here's our object, perfect round black spheroid right here, causing a CME. As it's going out, it's trailing stuff behind it. Okay, so let's get this out of the way. So it continues going up and out of the screen. Let me do that one more time right there so you get one more good image. It's nice round right here. And then over here you can make out another round object coming off the sun here, or coming from behind the occulter, we'll say, because we don't know if it's coming off the sun or not. We can't tell because the occulter's in the way, but I'm going to zoom in on this one too so you can see we have a nice round black spheroid again, and you can actually make out a little plasma in front of it here and on the sides right here that it's accumulated in front of it as it comes past the sun. So we got two objects in the frame at the same time. This one up here and this one down here. So it's more than just one object. There's that one, and then there's another one here coming off the side of the sun. Let me zoom back out a little bit now. And we will continue progressing forward through this. Next. Then you can see as this emerges from behind the occulter and starts to move out. You got a glitch there. It causes a glitch in the satellite. There's another one. And then it continues on out of frame. Another thing going on is this slow motion CME over here. The whole time this CME has been boiling and going while all this stuff shoots out and goes past. There'll be 2 or 3 events happen and go past in the time frame it takes for this to even start to emerge. So we'll continue going through it frame by frame here a little bit. Then I'll put it back into motion. And if you look over on this side, look how big this white area is right here. There's something big right over here, I think. Or something with a huge magnetic field, because you can make out all these crisscrossing magnetic field lines right here of whatever's emerging from behind the occulter here. Okay, so now I'm going to put it back into motion here again. I'll scoot it down so you can see everything the best you can. So we have our big explosion, this one off the top, this one over here on the side, and then this slow motion activity over here. So yeah, the sun's doing some strange stuff. We got these objects that are interacting with our sun, causing these CMEs and weird behavior. Let's see if we can slide it down just a little bit. Something else I want to point out. It's kind of hard to see, but there's an inflow right here. At the same time, there's stuff coming out right next to it. There's inflow going right in there. What this is, maybe it's objects we're catching from the backside as they're coming in and they're hitting the magnetic field from the backside of the sun here. But you can see we have some inward flow right there as stuff was flying out. And at the same time, we have inward flow down here at the bottom. Watch after the explosion, you'll see little streaks going in there. Maybe we'll zoom in on that too, just a little bit better, because I don't know if the camera's picking it up too well. So we have our big explosion, and then we have little objects going in at the bottom again. Much like we had yesterday. In fact, let's try to go back to yesterday's real quick and go over that one again, because this was another huge explosion. Boom! I mean, we're having some healthy explosions coming off the sun here. Even though this one was rated as an M class, that's a decent sized flare, but it looks like it could have been bigger. But something I was going to point out here in this one was this inflow at the bottom here again, because we have a significant, let's see if we can get this to pop up. There we go. What we have is a significant event happening here. It doesn't look all that significant, but as this stuff starts to flow in, you'll see a CME reach out and react to this middle object. There's one going in, one coming out, and this one in the middle, and you'll see that it leaves a wake coming off of it. So this inflow, whatever these objects are, we're catching them now at the southern poles and the northern poles at the same time. We're having multiple objects come off the sun at the same time. Here's this huge blast. So the sun was quiet for a few days there, but then it came back to life. These objects come back around and start interacting with the sun, causing these huge CMEs. Boom. And I pointed out the object in that one in last night's video. We'll go back to that one and you can see it better. But I just wanted to point out this inflow because this is a significant event. This is the first time I've ever seen it reach out to an incoming object. Usually that stuff is like happening on the backside and we don't get to see it. But here, that middle object right there, that's CME comes out and hits it. It's reacting to the presence of that object, and it streaks right over it. So that object must have some kind of magnetic field too that interacts with the sun's magnetic field and causes a little reaction like this. So I think that's about it for tonight. Maybe I got a few more minutes. Maybe we'll go over something else real quick. Yeah, so it's just new activity. I've been waiting for something to, when it's moving in, for a CME to react to it when it's moving in, showing that it's actually some kind of object physically moving in there and the thing is reacting to it. So, the other one, I don't know, my thing might shut down, so I might call it a night for this. Let's go back real quick and we'll close out with with today's. Oh wait, let's go over to stereo A. That's what I wanted to do. Stereo A. So here's stereo A, June 14th, 2022. Now all the data isn't here, but it looks like the blast is going off to the left. If you look closely, it's a partial halo on this camera as well, which means it is heading towards stereo A, and stereo A is no longer 90 degrees off the side of the sun. It's at like a 23 degrees off the earth. So if it's coming at this camera partially, it might be coming towards the Earth a little bit too. So I don't think it's a full-blown Earth-facing CME because this flow seems to be going off to the left here. The main part of it is. So I have a feeling that our half a halo CME is going away from us and not towards us. But something interesting in here, you can see those two objects right here when they pop out. So let's just pause on this real quick. Oopsie, go back up. So yeah, here we go. Here's our two objects in the same frame. One right here and the one right here. These are the same two, but I pointed out on the other satellite. So this satellite is confirming what the other satellite showed. So I checked the Earth's tilt lately. No, I haven't checked the Earth's tilt lately. I'm sure it's changing because these objects, when they go past our planet, if they're having electromagnetic interactions with the sun, they can have an electromagnetic interaction with our planet. So if any of these things make a close flyby, I'm sure they do interact. Something happens. I think that's what our tidal retreats and surges are caused by, or the gravitational fields of these objects. When one comes close by, it acts just like the moon and pulls the tides to one side, making a tidal retreat in one spot and a tidal surge in another spot on the face of the planet. This stuff is also interacting, causing our weather, our freak weather. Whatever interacts with the sun affects the sun directly affects us. So when these things affect the sun, they affect us as well, indirectly, but still kind of directly. And then if they come near us, then they directly affect us. So I just got to show you this stuff because no one else is reporting on this. There's another channel out there, Planet X News. Scott does a really good job of cleaning up these images so you can see them a lot clearer, because mine are just kind of the instrument itself. But it's quite clear what's going on here. I'm going to put this back into motion again so you can see those things come up, boom, they hit there and they split, and one goes off this way and one comes off this way. It's almost as if they kind of were together, hit the backside electromagnetic field of the sun and split up and ricocheted off one, and one ricochets off this way. That seems to be what's kind of happened visually. That's what it looks like is happening here. Because I don't think these things are coming out of the sun. They're coming up close to it, just like a magnet can repel. These things don't get sucked into each other, they repel each other, but it still pulls it in close enough to get into the magnetic field, interact with it, rip some plasma off as it streaks by, as it bounces off and heads out in another direction, almost like a couple of pool balls. If they were stuck together and you smacked them in the middle, the two would separate. So that's what I theorized. That's what it looks like to me is going on here. And we're not getting a straight answer from anybody else. So I'm having the feeling that something more is going on here. What I'm seeing is actually what's happening here. So I think that's it for today. And just close out one more time with this big half a halo CME. I may need no AC this year. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be hot this year, I think. We're all going to need AC. We'll see. There's no telling what's going to happen next, but I'm curious as to see what's going to come out of this area now. There's also objects going in right next to this magnetic field, so I'm wondering if maybe these objects are drawing some of these in. I don't know. It's hard to tell if it's the sun drawing these in or maybe it's these objects, but this weird little magnetic field, and it's caused this huge white blossom. This is one of the biggest blossoms I've ever seen on the red side over here, one continuous thing. So that tells me that there's something. It's reaching out to something here, and I think in the next day we're going to is that comes out of here, and probably something else come flinging out at another angle. But that's our report for today. And just beware, our sun's coming back to life and kicking out big old CMEs and flares again. And we're capturing this weird inflow, and the sun reacting to this inflow now is what's new. So that's it for now. I love you all. I miss you all, and God bless you all. And until my next video, bye.